Our next speaker is Dr. Anil Kumar Singh, consultant cataract, cornea, and refractive surgery, working in Sai Surya Netra Seva, Ahmednagar. Now let's hear from him. On to you, Dr. Anil. Could you screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes. You could share your screen.
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am. Basically, this all because of my guru, Dr. Prakash Kankriya, operated case 30 years back, a post-RK patient,
I think
48
we
year
have
old.
to share the screen. We
Share
can't
screen.
see the PowerPoint.
Yeah, my skin is visible, ma'am?
No.
No, we can't see it.
Yeah, just a sec.
There is that share screen.
Doctor,
below.
at 6 o'clock there is a green button, screen share on the Zoom window.
Now it's visible?
No.
Dr. Anil, on the Zoom window.
Yes,
Yes,
now
yes.
it's visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine. Excellent.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I'll be talking on a this is patient post RK radial keratomy done 30 years old, yeah, nearly 30 years back by my guru Dr. Prakash Kankriya sir at Sai Surya Netra Seva, and when we opted for this case why because this is not very tough surgery as such, but there are a few tricks where we are supposed to judge on before starting the surgery itself. Is my video playing? Yeah, my video is playing now. So when we choose the incision site here, that makes a more difference, like where the main incision should be and where the side port should be, because sometimes the wound dehiscence occurs because those keratectomy lines, they sometimes, if they are very large or they are very close, in this case it only 8 lines were there, so RK lines were there, so it was not very difficult, but yeah, whenever we are choosing our sites, we have to be very tricky. Second point in these cases is like how to choose IOL. The biometry we have to be, because what we know is in a post LASIK or in post PRK, the posterior to anterior ratio usually decreases, but when in the post RK patients, what happens is this increases the posterior to anterior diameter, what we talk about. So choosing the IOL power or calculating the IOL power is also tricky. And this, when we are doing capsulotomy, that time it makes the more, what trick I use is sometimes when we leave the flap and the lines is there, that time again restarting it becomes difficult. So my trick is just tilt the eyeball a bit and we can easily do it the whole CCC. And it is central and it should be maximum 5.5, or in the optical zone already reduced. So we have to be precise in that. Then after that, the rest of the phaco procedure, what we have, because they are so all our seniors are better surgeon than me, I suppose. So it's not very big deal, but here precision about taking the incision, precision about doing the CCC, the main ports, this entry site, it should come in between the 2 lines. If you are slightly here and there, the wound dehiscence chances there. And I remember in few cases I have put sutures also to make it secured and to keep the what we call anterior chamber well formed. So rest of the time, hydrodissection, hydrolination, since he was a 48-year-old male, it was soft cataract, and we easily we can do it. And by going on a regular setup at with phaco 2, easily the nucleus can be emulsified, and not even going to, even if you don't go to phaco 3 or phaco 2, you can easily aspirate the free of cortex left, and then the rest of the part what is left is just cleaning of the cortex. And here also it's just a regular phaco, so not much of a difference. But prediction of what we call is incision site, the main and the side port, and CCC, when what I mean to say, it makes a difference here, and the biometry. This is how, after when we are going to put the IOL, also the pressure or the trick is not to put much pressure, just slight screw movement, so that if 2 lines are very close and there's chance of wound dehiscence again. So this when we are just injecting the IOL, it have to be very careful, because there should not be more vibrations also in the side, on the side lines, main lines or the lines of the RK. and those keratomy lines can dehisce, and then sometimes we need to put sutures out there. So that's why I'll be closing it, and this is nearly like very easy to perform, but taking care of those line dehiscence and calculation of the IOL power, ma'am. So this will
Thank you.
will
You
be
can-
nearly finishing with the case, and thanks to whole AIOS ARC team, especially Chitra ma'am and Azul sir, for giving me an opportunity. And I have being in Ahmednagar and being in Sai Surya, I do get chance to do these sort of more RK cases because it all have been operated by Dr. Kankriya sir around 25 years back, and I have been doing cataract on these cases. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
The two main points is like in between RK 2-line incisions, you should make your main incision. So
Right.
that is one thing he said.
Can you stop screen
Can you
sharing, Dr.
stop
Anil,
sharing?
Yeah, sure.
so that
And-
we can have discussion?
And the other
Yes.
point I felt we should all know is if there are multiple RK incisions like those in Ahmednagar incision, then it's sometimes even better to do a scleral tunnel. than
Scleral,
a
yes.
corneal incision.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
and question to you, Dr. Kumar. Now, what would you do if you have a refractive surprise in a post-RK case? Like Dr. Kumar, Doctor or Gaurav, Namrata, anybody could take it.
I think
Let Kumar take it.
So I've done surface in such patients if it's
Yeah.
very, very surprising. Otherwise, you can always put
Normally
another
wait for
hand
3
on
months.
IOL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that's
have
what
to-
yes. That's what the point I wanted to hear is, like in this post RK, there's a lot of refractive instability which is there in the initial months. So
Yeah.
and it could go wrong in our biometry, especially if there are too many incisions and the optic zone is smaller than 3 millimeters. So in these cases, it's better to wait for at least 3-4 months till we get refractive stability. Then we do it. Otherwise, there's a likelihood of a hyperopic shift in these cases. And
Even when you plan with all the planning also,
yeah,
you never kind of get to emmetropia. It's always a little bit, on the hyperopic side. So that is one issue with the RK, and they have high myopia, most of them. So all the features of high myopia, like breathing pupil, like the cataract would be harder than what your red glow would suggest.
yes.
And then polishing has to be done meticulously because they tend to be younger also, these patients.
Yes.
So all those things would also be there, features of myopia.
I think the-
Dr. Pandey has some views, I guess. Dr. Suresh Pandey, can you unmute yourself? How would you like to tackle the refractive surprise after? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes,
Yeah.
the refractive surprise can be tackled with the piggyback lens implantation. Like I have done couple of cases. Normally, whenever I do calculation of lens power in such cases, I always add. I try to aim for the little myopic side, so that and piggyback lens can be one of the important way to address the refractive surprise. Piggyback Sulcoflex toric or Sulcoflex monofocal lens can be helpful in such cases.
Yes.
True.
And,
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Any other?
Yeah,
things?
Dr.
I just
Dr.
want to
Rohit
make
has.
one point.
I
Yes.
think the most
This way, I
important-
think you rightly said, because I make a scleral or a posterior limbal incision, and I make the incision as small as possible. I prefer 1.8 or 2.2 millimeter, and even the side ports also. I would probably use Rohit's calibrated side port in this because exactly the size I want to, and also side port also should be posterior limbal.
Dr.
True.
Rohit, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think basically when in doubt, you should always, the first thing is, as Dr. Mohan has said, make scleral incisions, because you don't want that the dynamics should extend to the incisions. That is the first thing. Coming to the IOL formula, I think one should go in for the true K Barrett's formula, because that gives practically the best amongst all the available formulas which we have.
Yes. Very true.
Then
Absolutely.
basically what we have to realize is that in all these patients, you have to wait till it stabilizes, because there's this hyperopic shift, hyperopic surprise also in these patients because of hydration of these incisions. So you have to wait, and you have to, when you have to, how you have to decide when we have reached the final refraction. You have to give yourself a chance of rule of two, they say, I believe. You have to wait for 15 days. 2 refractions have to be the same at the same time of the day, because there's a diurnal variation also that has also to be borne in mind.
Very,
Piggyback IOL in such cases, if it has to be done, is the answer in these patients.
very valid thoughts, Dr. Rohit.